viewers, Mark here.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn.
And today we're here having a live feed because my Ireland video was having a little bit of trouble rendering. So I think I got it working, so it will be out. That'll be Saturday's video. It will get fixed. It was just kind of not working today. So we've got a few questions already sent in, so we're going to talk about some of those things. One is about Savannah, Jocelyn's favorite city in the world, and it was basically taking kids for 4 days to Savannah.
So there's a lot to do in Savannah. If you're just downtown, there's Battlefield Park, where I actually used to work. And they have the Children's Museum there, which is like a really cool place. It's in an old building, and it's kind of outside, kind of inside. There's a lot of good, like, imaginative stuff there. There is Oatland Island, which is outside the downtown historic district. It's on Oatland Island. It's a great little zoo. It's got all indigenous animals and things like that. But I would like to tell you, this is a really wonderful book. It's called Around Savannah and Where to Go and What to Do with Children. There's two of these books. This is the first one, and it was published, I don't know, I was still living in Savannah, so it's been a minute. But it's a really great book. It is worth checking out, and they have a pile of things to do in there, and all the places are sort of explained. It doesn't have the Children's Museum because we hadn't built that yet. So there's that. Anyway, hope that helps.
So Emperor King, hi from everybody up in Canada. Hi, the really early morning people in Belgium.
That's tough.
Yes, that is quite tough. Salama, good morning to you too in UAE. So thank you for the help there. We were talking earlier on the chat about times to go to United Arab Emirates. So it's late November through February. So we do have a little window next year, February and January, so we'll try to get there then, so that can actually work out. So thank you for that.
That's
and we do
awesome.
Yeah, and we really appreciate when you all give us help too, because we do a ton of research for all of our stuff, and then we go there and experience ourselves. But getting tips from locals like you really makes it really special.
Makes it a lot easier.
And so we always really appreciate that. So we always like take notes and stuff like that. Like I've got my note for live feed for today, so I can write some stuff down too. So we all have those things. Jose Pereira's back, the #1 SLB Benfica fan ever. So let's go through. I'm going to scroll back up on here to look and see where there's some questions that have come in earlier. So Taro asked about being a plus-size traveler. Now, Jocelyn is not a plus-size traveler. She is a negative-size traveler. I wouldn't know how to...
I'm not negative anymore.
Well...
I was once.
Whatever. So I would say advice for plus-size travelers. One, have a bit of a thick skin because, people aren't nice to fat people pretty much anywhere in the world.
Except China
and
Japan.
China and Japan.
They like to rub his belly.
Yeah, China, everyone wanted to take pictures with me and rub my belly, so that was kind of nice to be loved like that. But I would say have some thick skin. No one's really going to pick on you, but you do get to kind of the eyes sometime and stuff like that. But I would say advice is more in transportation. Like if you can get... don't go if you're gonna be flying economy, get the aisle seat so you can have a little more space that way. Also know that if you kind of like go down the side of the armrest, there's usually a button you can find and pop that up to give you a little more space. But if you can get one of the like a Comfort Plus or a higher class ticket, that helps with the extra room. Also, if you're gonna be taking trains, getting the first class tickets, usually those seats, instead of having 4 seats across, it's like 3 seats on an aisle, so that can really help with those things. One thing I will say that I've noticed being a huskier fellow myself, a lot of Airbnbs in Europe and in the US, it's just people, they outfit it with IKEA beds. And IKEA beds, I mean, they're not made for heavier people, but also it kind of explains, I think I know why there's not as many babies in Europe, because their beds can't handle baby making. I mean, I just don't think they can, because it's just like, hey, it's just those slat beds. So that would be one thing to check out. That's why usually, hotels usually work better. But I'm going all in with honesty here. So I'm just trying to help out, okay?
There is too much honesty on occasion, Mark.
So anyway, here's one. SD Williams, I've written back to her, and they asked, hey, we're going for 2 weeks to Italy. Where should we go? 2 weeks in Italy. They're like, we want to see everything. Well, here's one thing. That's not about SD. That's just anybody. Don't ever try to see everything because it's too much.
We've been to Italy, like, if you add it all up, like, Mark has definitely been there years worth of times, and I've been there many, many months worth of time, and there is so much left to see.
But if you're going to go for like a 2 week
You got 2
tour,
weeks.
like you're gonna say, like you're looking at, I would get a multi-city ticket so you can fly into Rome and then either fly out of Venice or Milan or something like that. I would fly to Rome, spend 2 or 3 days, and like get there. That's day one. Have that day to relax, walk around, then have 2 full days to see the sights in Rome. Then go down to Naples and the Amalfi Coast and spend a couple days there.
Don't stay in Naples.
Yeah,
though.
don't stay in Naples. Stay in like Sorrento or on the Isle of Capri. Go to the Isle of Capri, which is really cool, in Pompeii.
You can see Pompeii or
Or
Herculaneum.
Herculaneum. And then from there, take the trains back up. Florence is nice, but I would stay in like Lucca, wouldn't you say? And then,
Lucca's like almost 3 hours from Florence.
well,
it's
'cause
closer to
train
Pisa.
slows. Pisa's right there. It's just because it's a local kind of train stuff. Well, anyway, if you can go to Florence, and that's a place to go. And then you can, like, Pisa's like what you can say like half day. Just
I
get your
wouldn't-
picture.
No, you know what? If
Don't
you only
waste your
got 2
time.
weeks, don't go to Pisa.
Don't go to Pisa. Don't waste your time.
Florence, 2 days. I mean, you certainly need more time, but 2 days will work. And then go over to
Ravenna. I would go to Ravenna for something different.
Well, if you want to do something different, definitely Ravenna, but go over and take the train through the Veneto and go to Venice. And then head out from Venice.
Yeah. So that's kind of a basic one there, but I sent something up to him earlier.
When do we live in Vicenza? When did you live? He's never technically
I just stayed there for months at a time in my friend's house. Thank you, Nando and Elena.
Yeah,
like-
but Vicenza's our home. It's
Yeah.
like when we go to Italy. I took my mom there one time. She's like, I don't understand. Why do you feel like this is so much home to you? And we're walking down the street. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. It just feels like I've lived here forever. She's like, you never lived here. And then we run into like 3 people, and they're like, Jocelyn, Joe, da da da. And that's why.
David Konachek, how's it going, buddy? Good
Hi,
to see you.
Davidia. I love you.
We love you, buddy. Good to see you on here. I'll try to have
So
nice.
cool.
I'll try not to use naughty words or anything. Let's see who else.
Hey, there was someone way up at the very top that I wanted to get to. It was a person, brother 444, and it was something about language.
Hello. He says
concerns.
hello. Brother 444 says hello.
There was language concerns about going abroad. He speaks English and French.
Oh, it was about
I'm guessing
Sicily.
you're
He'll be
French
fine.
Canadian.
He'll be
Sicily, all the major cities you'll be fine in, because I think he stated that. But listen, I don't speak Italian and I don't speak Spanish, but I understand them pretty well.
Yeah. Saying you don't speak Spanish is, I don't know if you could say that.
Okay, well,
You can get
anyway, I do all right. But the thing is, I can go to small towns and English is
You don't have to worry about it. in
spoken
Italy.
by so many people at, especially the under 40s. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
You'll be
and-
fine.
And I would say in Italy, there's so many tourist kind of stuff that they're so outgoing and friendly. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
it
if you don't
doesn't
speak, you'll be
matter.
fine. So there's been a few super chats. Thank you very much for help supporting us. So
Thank you.
time for a kiss. Love you, buddy. I think it's a bot I set up myself. Rank your 3 favorite accents.
Southern,
Southern accent. I think
Southern
actually,
American.
if I would say good accents, if you want to say like good accents when they speak English, I would like for perfect accents like Scandinavia
David's
and Portuguese have great English accents when they speak, like
Oh, is that what
American
they meant?
accents. No, they meant like cool accents. I don't know. Which ones do you like?
I like French and Italian.
Let's see. For me,
I
I
don't see it.
like
Southern.
South African. That's pretty
oh yeah,
cool.
that is pretty cool.
What else? I like how the old dudes speaking English to you in Japan. That was kind of a cool way. Their accent when they talk, 'cause they actually was pretty good, but you could tell that they only had like some basic stuff out there. So that was nice. Let's see. Milton Mendonça. Hey guys, hope things are going well. We are having a wedding come up in May in DC. What would you suggest to be done for 2 extra full days there? Okay.
Oh,
If you
wow.
got 2 full days, the thing is there's like 30 different Smithsonian museums. Pick the ones you really want to see. We were there last year. My buddy Rob from Trip Hacks DC. Check out his YouTube channel, Trip Hacks DC. He's got anything
Anything you
and
could
everything
need.
you've ever want to know about DC.
Yeah.
The dude's got it. He does tours as well, so you can sign up for something like that. But I would spend just 1 day hitting museums. If you want to do a day trip,
Oh, Colonial
go to
Williamsburg.
Colonial
Or
Williamsburg.
you could, I don't know. You could probably
your
get
cousins?
down to Charlottesville.
No. You want to get to where the president's place. Mount Vernon?
Mount
I
Vernon.
thought she'd say Mount Vernon. Yeah, Mount Vernon or Williamsburg are your best ones because you don't need to
I
go to
don't know
Charlotte.
why I said Colonial
Charlottesville is too
Williamsburg.
far away. It's not worth it. So that's what I would do.
I'm-
I'd spend a day just doing the mall and then go see a couple of Smithsonian's and then go to the Mount
Hey,
Vernon.
Caleb, do you know which arrondissement in Paris we like to say? Yeah, where is it? Arrondissement. Do you know which one? Oh, you don't know what that area is called? Oh, we like to say Montmartre.
Oh yeah.
Moment.
So man, there's so many on here. I'm
That's a
sorry.
lot of freaking
I
questions.
know, and there was Jose Pereira. Good to see you, buddy.
Muito
Thank you very much
obrigada.
for the super chats. Do you guys like
Favorite
visiting haunted
cities?
places? If so, favorite cities and catacombs.
Dude, I love the catacombs in southern Portugal. They are so cool. Like it's not catacombs really. It's the Chapel of Bones. It's not really catacombs.
There's one in,
but it's really cool.
There's a small one. There's a small one down in Faro, and there were a lot of tourists see it. But the bigger one is in Evora, which is really cool. There's also one in the Czech Republic you can go see. But there's actually these mummies in Brno, Czech Republic, and they basically buried these. We have a video on
Never
it.
been there.
Because I was teaching there when I was teaching in Vienna.
He doesn't
And
love me.
no, not at all, not at all. And where they buried the monks or the priests, for some reason, like how the wind and the air was, it kept them and mummified them. So there's actually mummies in the Czech Republic. It's kind of cool. And if you're taking the train from Vienna to Prague goes through there. And when you come in, there's a huge church. Like, oh my God, it's so cool. So those are some haunted kind of spooky places to check out.
I am trying to read all of these questions. Yes, we're based in the U.S. We don't travel full time, but we travel like 5 to 6 months out of the year, all told, in different bits and pieces. Okay.
Mia S., how would you recommend packing lightly for a climate that may have unpredictable weather? That's a good
Layers. Layers. So, and I'm really big on like cotton and silk and other natural fibers that, you can wash and dry rather quickly. I don't worry too much about wrinkles and things. I just take Downy wrinkle releaser. But, take tank top, a long sleeve shirt, a cardigan, a wrap of some sort, like a scarf, like a blanket scarf that maybe I know cashmere is really expensive, but it's a really great fabric because it kind of can go for so many different things, like, weights and whatever. Also, it can be your blanket on the plane. I also just like a nice cotton wrap or whatever. But those are things I always do. I have this brilliant coat that I bought in Paris years ago, and it's like two parts in one. There's like a really thin down jacket, and then it has a heavier thing that goes over it. And I love to travel with that because I can use either of them separately, or I can use the two together, and it's really warm. So you may not be able to find one that's built like that, but if you get a really thin down thing, it can go underneath something else. So if you're going from fairly warm weather to fairly cold weather, it works out really well.
Okay, so I've been going through these while Jocelyn was answering that, so I'm going to do a few quick ones. Salema, I think Salema as well, asked, what's train travel like in the U.S.? If you're in the northeast of the U.S. or in California, I think the train travel is actually pretty easy and pretty good. The rest of the U.S. train travel is spotty in terms of where it goes and also is very slow, so you're actually way better flying for speed and actually price as well, because sometimes the train tickets cost more than a plane ticket for those really long distance ones. So that would be what I'd say there. Flughafen XL, I'm glad we could help with your videos and getting you prepared for your travels. That's really good. Thank you for that.
Hola, Henry.
Hola, yes, and hola, Henry. We're good to see you, buddy. Boston Airport, it sucks. Logan sucks. And when you rent cars there,
Dude,
just
don't do it.
don't. Fly into Rhode Island. Fly into Providence, Rhode Island instead
terrible.
because it sucks.
Glenn wants to know about help for Lisbon dining. So there's a lot of new places in Lisbon. My best advice is get the heck away from anything. And this is kind of general anywhere. Get away from all the tourist stuff. Go a few blocks and find a mom and pop place. Lisbon is particularly has really great tashkas, Tasca. A tashka is just run by mom and pop and maybe their kids, and the food is like from Mama's Kitchen, and it's really good. So get out and see those places, and also you're like really supporting local business and not just some big kind of thing that's owned by 50 million different investors. So that would be my best advice for Lisbon.
I'm drinking tea right now. Because I have to.
We both are.
I have to teach at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I've got to be out. And we're supposed to have an ice storm tonight, so I'm gonna have to leave a bit early to get to work. Some other things. Tracy in Colorado. Thank you very much. We're glad you liked the video. We will get out to Colorado eventually. I have cousins that live out there. We have friends that have a house out there, so we're gonna try to figure out a way to get out there with them. Jose, it's glorioso. I think you mispronounced it. We'll get to Alaska eventually. I know that.
Oh, I'd like to do that.
So we will get there. Let's see. Henry Martinez, thanks, buddy. I know we said thanks, but here's what we wrote. Mark and Jocelyn, what are the chances you guys coming to San Diego this year? I'm actually here in the Pacific Beach area. Oh, Henry, I was there earlier this time last year. No, I was this time, last year. It was so beautiful. I'm so jealous. I wish we were, but I don't think we'll be going there.
Mark might we may do LA VidCon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll be there.
He'll be there for sure. The kids and I, we haven't decided.
So maybe I can pop down to San Diego and have some carne asada fries.
Yeah, there you go.
So good.
Take Henry out for a beer while you're at it.
Let's see. Tracy Sylvester, any plans to do a series on USA best places? We do have a few of them. We have it's an older video, top 10 US, top 10 Southwest US, top 10 West US, top 10 South US. But the thing is, they're like before HD and before I know how to edit, so they're not like super cool. So that's why YouTube doesn't show them.
We need to
but if you but if you look up Wolters World top 10 and put in the country or the part of country,
like it'll come up. It'll come up. The Trieste one, you've been to Trieste, right? I have.
Yeah, it's windy. Like windy. It's kind of cool to go to, but it's really windy.
But he's from Portland, Maine. You're used to like kind of chilly weather, right? Yeah. I like Portland, by the way.
So, yes, Sam FW writes, will Spanish get me by in Barcelona? Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
English will too.
Yeah, English will too with all the ones there. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up, so we have all these things here. Thank you everyone for all these lovely comments and stuff. I'm just trying to go.
River cruising from Vienna to Amsterdam in March. Definitely, Pat. It will be pretty chilly.
Probably rainy.
It'll be very humid. If it's not raining, it will be wet in the air.
Yeah,
right.
It's cold.
It'll be chilly, so definitely pack your breathable, many layered kind of things.
So D writes, have you been to the Tomatina Festival? No, but I've had friends that have been there, and it was pretty crazy. Make sure you have goggles. Let's see.
Packed, I asked for advice about living.
So David Konachek writes, when is a good time to go to Italy? Honestly, David, any time of the year is a great time to go to Italy. I mean, if you could go the end of May and early June with your parents, that would be a great time to go. So get your mom on to get those tickets, pal.
Hang on, I was trying to read. Just
you have
give
to
me
get
a
few of them together.
I know. Oh, TGV, I'm so happy for you. That is awesome. TGV had asked about advice about leaving a small town in a large city and moving back, blah, blah, blah. And it really worked out for them. And so, yay, I'm happy for you.
So Nick Damos writes, very cool, by the way. Nick Damos writes, been to Bruges, any place in Belgium really worth visiting? Bruges and Ghent are my two favorite places to visit in Belgium. Well worth going to. Stay there. Go see those. That's really cool. If you buy Bruges, you can do a World War I battlefield tour. Like go to Ypres and stuff like that. Really, really cool, Nick. So I think you'd like that.
Estee Williams. I'm so glad that you got to do that. Go into the old motherland, right? Like that's just the coolest thing. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad we were able to help you. Pet lover, companies do not sponsor our videos because they don't like the truth. I mean, truly, we give you guys the honest stuff. We say love, hate, good, bad, and they just want a commercial, and we don't do that. So that's it. How do you pass all the downtime while traveling? There's downtime?
Yes, right now. We get on our live feeds and I make videos.
No, the downtime while traveling. We're always going.
Downtime. What's
when
that?
we travel, we might
There's no vacation in traveling. Are you crazy?
We might have like a day where we're like mentally just wiped out, especially when we do those like 2-month long trips. Then we'll usually have like every couple weeks we'll take a day and we call it our do nothing day. But on our do nothing day, we'll go to like a park or something. So I don't know. We don't do downtime very much unless you're talking about sitting in airports and Then Mark's usually researching stuff. The kid, I'm usually dragging one kid with me to go shopping in the airport, just looking at stuff, and we just kind of fart around a little bit. There's not a lot of downtime for us though.
Hi, Katrina. Good to see you. Hey, everybody. So I have a few questions people kind of threw out there. Yeah, and I echo what Jocelyn said about the no sponsors thing.
And somebody asked about some political questions.
Yeah, we
and
don't do politics.
David Konachek answered it. No politics. It will
right.
create an argument. We
That's
don't
right.
talk
We talk
about
travel,
it.
okay?
Period.
So other stuff. Someone asked about Bucharest, Romania. Is it worth it? If you're going to do Romania, I recommend the Transylvania part. You know, like Brasov and Cluj-Napoca and Sibiu. Not Sibiu. Yeah, Sibiu's okay. My mind's drawing a blank now. I like that area better. Bucharest does have a couple cool things. A folk museum, and there's an outdoor like kind of folk museum. One, you can see the costumes of the people of Romania, and then the one that's outdoor, they're taking buildings from all over Romania and put it in Bucharest. That's kind of cool. But otherwise, I'd stick more to Transylvania when you're there.
Sam FW, what if you want something American in Europe? Well, there's always McDonald's, usually a Burger King, quite possibly
KFC.
Pizza Hut, always KFC. Mm-hmm. Also, a lot of big places like El Corte Inglés in Portugal and Spain and Carave in Germany have all sorts of imported stuff, so you can always get stuff. Okay, bye, David.
Bye, buddy. Have a good day at school. Harriet Brennerhoff asks, is Paris safe? Paris is safe as any other big city. We go back. We're actually planning. We'll be there.
We'll be there twice
this year. I mean, we already
maybe
have,
three times.
We have two that are already booked. We already have tickets for 2 different trips to Paris. So there might be some. I wish my hair was a mess. I wish I had hair. So there you go.
Hey.
Darian Glover. I think your computer doesn't work because it says go Gators. I mean, shouldn't we say go dogs?
Darian.
So Darian's a really good guy. He's we've been chatting for a long time.
Football.
He hooked us up with some tasty treats at the airport
cool.
down in Tampa. We were down there at Christmas time. So and hats.
Thank you.
So thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it. I got to meet his son too. He's a good kid.
I want to answer the trains question.
So the train says, what do you do with small kids on airplanes?
So this is important. It's important to get them traveling when they're little because it gets a little bit easier the more you do it, right? And secondly, keep them occupied. Ask your pediatrician about melatonin if you're taking like a really long flight, and especially if you're gonna like go over time zones and you need to kind of get them on the right time. Talk to your pediatrician because at certain ages, no good. Certain ages, it's okay, and they'll be able to tell you a little bit about that. And then, so I have a video. Look for it about packing a carry-on backpack for kids. I always take something old that I know is really great for them, and I put new stuff in there too. So like one new thing, and it doesn't have to be fancy. Like we go and we get stuff from the dollar store. But really, if you're on a long flight, typically there's movies and things. And I hate to say it, but video games are a really great way to keep them busy. So you might load up some new ones or some that you know they like on your phone or whatever. If you have an old phone and you can kind of load things up onto it, that's another really good thing to do. Anyway, I hope that is helpful, and there's more in that video if you need it.
So I have some notes while Jocelyn can figure out hers, and she can work out her notes. So one person wrote and asked, "Hey, we have one day, and we want to see 4 parks at Disney. It ain't gonna happen. I mean, we'll do 1 park and just do that one, maybe 2 if you start like super early in the morning and go to the very end of the night. But yeah, you're not gonna get all 4. You're insane." These I was going to say.
I can't read that chicken
scratch.
It was
for you to write your own notes. The other ones are up there.
Oh,
there you go. Jordan, I need because I had seen too. You know, you have your own books.
just rip me on a page, Hussy.
Rip my book, that's that. You know when you have a system that works and you like to have your system, and then someone rips the page out of your
When
book.
you try to make me live in your system and your system doesn't work for me, it doesn't count.
Anyway, so Jordan asked about Diocletian's Palace in Split, Croatia. Is it worth it? So Diocletian's Palace, if you all don't know, Diocletian was was an emperor of Rome. And when he retired, he built this insane palace. What in part was now split Croatia, and it's actually so big they actually built a city inside of it. And what's cool is you can actually go in. When you go into it, there's a market in the like catacombs underneath it, which is really cool to see. And you can walk around, and and he was super anti-Christian. And so when he built his like mausoleum, he made it like super anti-Christian. They turned it into a church now. It is really cool to see. I do actually have a video on Split I need to put out. But yeah, it's worth going to. It's definitely worth checking out if you're going to Croatia or if you're down that part of the world. Another person wrote and asked, is Slovenia worth it? Slovenia is nice. I mean, it's got, the mountains are gorgeous, especially if you go to Lake Bled. You'll see a lot of Instagrammers go to Lake Bled to get their pictures with the church in the middle of the lake. But it is gorgeous just to go around. I was there with my mom a few years ago. We're actually going there this summer to do some filming. And, for a few days, I mean, it's a small country. People are nice, speak a lot of English. It's very wealthy. Well, relatively wealthy, I feel, and you can do a lot for that. You don't need to spend a ton of time there, but it is worth visiting for that.
Whoever said go Longhorns, just horns down, dude.
They beat Georgia. That's why she's upset. Anyway, Julian asked when to start traveling with your kids. As soon as they're ready. Our kids were going at 6 weeks. Because they get used to it. Jocelyn hit on that like right when you were writing that, so you probably got that from her.
Absolutely, do the kids. Take them as soon as you can, because the more you take them, the better it gets. Michael Leanwand, 8 days in Portugal with a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. Stop moving it. I'm trying to read it. When you have a system and it doesn't work. Would you only stay in Lisbon? Second base recommendation. So, Lisbon is really great, and then I would also make.
4 days?
Yeah, I do 4 days in Lisbon. The Oceanarium is amazing. The zoo. Y'all, we went to the zoo at least, and I'm not kidding, at least once a week for the entire 2 years that we lived there. It was our favorite place. It's still a destination. And here's a fun one. Stop talking about me. In Campo Rico and near Estrela, Jardim de Estrela is a really great park. Just let them run. There's a huge place to play and climb. There's a little kiosk right next to the kids area, but it's also just a beautiful park. And then up the hill in Campo Rico, one of our destinations, there's just a tiny little park, and it's got these two great 4-year-old, maybe not, I don't know. Our 4-year-old climbed the heck out of those trees.
He was 3 and he was climbing the heck out of it.
Awesome trees.
You might want to stand near the tree.
Yeah, but it's really, and it's a great like local area where you're not going to be there. There will be not one other tourist there. So that's kind of an awesome thing. Second place to go with kids, I'd say go down to the beaches, now down near Faro and stuff, because it's really set up for tourists. Lots of expats down there, but it's got the beach and whatever. And if you just want a couple of days of like laid back nothingness.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you just want to stay in Lisbon, there's actually the beaches by Lisbon. You can go to
down by Cascais.
Well, there's those by Cascais, and there's on the other side of the river from Lisbon. You can go there.
Whatever.
It's been so long, yeah. Costa Caparica. There you go. So there's plenty of stuff there, because if you want to just rent an apartment, because there's a lot of Airbnbs in Lisbon, you can do that as your base and go from there, or you can go down to the south. Now, I want to say a big thank you to Don Travis for a super chat. Sorry. These things, we got so many comments. It's hard to catch up with them. Favorite small village in the Alsace region. I wouldn't say it's a village, but my favorite place to go when I'm in Alsace is actually if you're going by Nancy. I know it's maybe not necessarily Alsace, but when you're over there, Nancy is gorgeous. Actually, one of the queens of France, her dad was the king of Poland, and when he got kicked out, he came and retired there, and he beautified the city, and it is just a gorgeous city. So that would be where I'd say to go if you're over there. Nancy, top notch, okay? Strasbourg's also really cool. Henry Martinez, thank you, buddy. Good to hear from you. Do you guys have any friends, relatives that met during their travels, ended up getting married? How common is that generally? Again, thank you, Mark Jocelyn. I really enjoy these live chats. Gracias. See you, Henry. I told you I'd get on for you. So, do you have any friends who've done that? I've had a number of students that have met people when they studied abroad, and they ended up either getting married or they did the European version of just living together forever. We've had a lot of that
was more like study abroad people. I don't remember anybody that met while traveling.
Well, I've had some people that have written us on here about that, but like personal friends, no, Henry, we haven't. So if you're looking, Henry, you never know. You could be one of the people that write us and say, hey.
We have best friends that we're like, lifelong friends with because we met in traveling, especially Nando and Elena in particular. Like those are, yeah.
Currently, Tom and Emily, thank you. Are glad you love our videos. It's
Currently,
that's
Tom
awesome to
and
hear. We really appreciate that. Best place to ski in Europe? It depends on your money. Cheap places, you're looking at Poland, Czech Republic. If you want to spend the money, Austria, Switzerland are the place to spend the money. So it depends what you're looking for.
Nina Nation, would you ever even consider going up into the lake region in Italy in February? Lake Como. It's gonna be cold. I would prefer to do it.
I wouldn't be
when
going
it's
in the lake,
warm.
let's say.
I would prefer to do that when it was warm. But I don't like the cold, so that's that.
So Emily's Town writes, how did you all meet? We actually had this question so many times. We actually have a video on it. We filmed a couple years ago. But, we met when she moved to my town, and she thought I was a wonderful, wonderful young man.
I thought he was a but with a different word.
And then we wrote each other. Well, I wrote her many, many years later. We were like acquaintances in high school.
We knew each other, and we hung out occasionally in high school, like at same parties or things like that. But
yeah, but
I always
then we didn't
kind of
see
thought
each other
he was a butt.
we didn't talk to each other for about 10 years.
Everybody really liked you except for me. Oh, Mark Wolters. Mark's back from study abroad. Oh, he's so cool. Mark this, Mark that. And I'm like, oh, Mark Wolters. It's like, Newman on Seinfeld.
No, I look like him
Wolters.
with a beard. Anyway.
Newman didn't have a beard.
I know, I said I look like him with a beard.
Oh.
So there you go.
Anyway, I love
moving on. So Firmar, hey Mark and Jocelyn, have you ever been to Israel? We're actually going to be going later this year, so we got that coming up. Olá, Nivaldo Moreira do Brasil. Olá, tudo bem? Good to hear you from Brazil. Llama. Okay, where'd it go? I'm looking for your donation here. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Thank you, because these things keep flying by. I really apologize. Didn't see that.
With those.
So, hello. Are you making a travel guide for Australia? We will when we get down there. I got to get back. I actually was a study abroad student there. Well, no, it was high school, so exchange student there way back in the day in Temora, New South Wales, which is like, well, actually,
Wagga Wagga.
Well, there was Wagga Wagga.
I just like to say Wagga Wagga.
And then like an hour away was Temora, and then I lived on a sheep ranch outside of town with the Wrights. Fantastic people, wonderful people. We still write. We still send Christmas cards to each other. Fantastic people. They're the kind of people you'd want your kids to stay with for a study abroad program. They were awesome. So we will get back down there. I think when we go, we're going to try to tie it in so it'll be kind of like a 2-month trip. So we get New Zealand, Australia, and some more stuff there so we can really get it done because it's a long flight. So we're trying to figure out, do we do it that or do we try to tie it together in like around the world kind of thing? So we're working on that, but we will get there. And I apologize for not getting to your super chat. Let me see if there's any other super chats before you scroll down.
Okay.
Pass all the downtime right traveling. We got that one. Oop. How to get a visa
Def Leppard.
So Def Leppard rules rock. Hey, you've come many times. I'm sorry. So how to get a visa for Russia? Well, there's one thing. If you just want to go for a few days, like to St. Petersburg, you can actually take a cruise, and it's a visa-free cruise, so you don't have to worry about it. When you register for your...
What is it, 72 hours?
72 hours is max. But what you'll do is, what I recommend, look online for Russia visa services or travel agencies that help set that up, and they'll get all the stuff, all the documentation ready for you, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to do, and it just takes some time. It's worth it because it's cool to go there, but just know that sometimes that can be an issue, okay? But it's worth it. So Brother 444 is writing back. So best souvenirs. Apologies for scrolling back up to try to find stuff, because what happens when you guys put one in, it jumps back down, so it goes back and forth. So Jocelyn, you want to talk about best souvenirs?
So best souvenirs, in my opinion, I love to buy paintings. Y'all, we have like paintings on every wall in this house, like it's covered. And because they're flat, and you can support starving artists, you can buy them sometimes for $5 or $10, sometimes more, but they, you just roll them up and take them home, and it's really easy. But I also kind of try to get things occasionally that are like special to that place. Like, for instance, some places...
Your lamp from Morocco?
I got a lamp from Morocco. Like rugs are famous in Morocco.
Which I got.
They're just like, you kind of know certain places have certain things that are really amazing. One of my funniest ones was in Bratislava, Slovakia, I got this giant dumpling spoon thing. It's, like what you would scoop out the noodles or whatever with, but this thing's like this big. It's enormous. And I just hang it on the wall because I don't even have a pot big enough to scoop that out. So different kind of stuff. But anyway, hope that helps.
Yep. So CTVL, we found another one of the super chats in here. Again, I'm sorry we haven't got back to them. Love the info and the inspiration to travel more. We're glad we can help because that's one thing we really love doing is helping other travelers, whether it's inspiring them or just helping them or just being a part of your journeys and your adventures. It's really kind of cool when people write us and say, thank you for helping us on this trip. And I'm like, dude, I'm just glad we could be a part of it. It's just so special we can be a part of your adventures. So thank you for letting us be a part of it. That's really nice. We really appreciate it. Hey, Gold Warlock 34 in Pakistan will say, hey, hi from you. Good to hear from you. Okay, now I'm scrolling back down because we'll try to find some people out here.
Hi from Quincy, Illinois.
Whoa!
I'm going to Bath in March. Do you have any favorite activities there?
Karen Hagenberg, hello. I'm very well acquainted with Quincy. So, you want to talk about Bath since you love it? It's fantastic.
Bath is just a really beautiful town. I'm a huge fan of Jane Austen, so you get to go to her house, and there's lots of cool stuff around that area. For me, truly, I would just like to spend a day wandering that whole area. All of Bath is just, it's all like a picture postcard. So go to the baths, obviously, and the cathedral just across the square from the baths is really cool. They have an interesting thing outside with the angels going up the ladder to heaven and one falling down. Anyway, but it's a beautiful place. If you're into architecture and things like that, you know what? One of our best memories, I think, in Bath was that we bought some watercolor paintbrushes, but they're like pens, and you just, whatever. We did watercolors all day, and not even all day. It was like 6 hours, and we just had the best time. It was an awesome day for us. So check that out. But good museums. The baths are great. The food was really excellent. There's some very, very English things, but there's some really creative outside of that. So check it out.
All right. So I've been scrolling through here, trying to get some more questions. Hold on.
You're going to make me sick.
Well,
he's scrolling so fast, y'all. Can they see that?
Oh, Wandering Marine Veteran, you wrote earlier, you had written on here when the chat was still up before we got signed up. It says, you are awesome. I want to do some travel vids sometime later on my YouTube. Great videos. Hey, Wandering Marine Veteran, do it.
Thank you.
I think thank you. Yes, we really appreciate all you've done. We really appreciate all the nice words you have for us and the support and everything. And thank you for the super chat. And I always say, you want to go do it. We need more videos out there because there's so many different perspectives you have. There's so many YouTube channels out there that do travel videos. The thing is, there's going to be something that fits with you. So I would say, go for it. And we look forward to see some of them. Okay. Very, very cool. So I've got some questions that people have written to us. You want to scroll through and figure out some while I work on these? So a couple of people wrote about Egypt. Will we get there one day? Yes. Yes, we will. Because that is the one place in the world I want to go the most. The mostest of the mostest I've never been to. So we will be getting there hopefully in the next few years. Another question I had. MG asked, Universal Studios, is it worth it? Yes, our kids actually like Universal Studios way better than Disney because it's more ride-based and more like pop culturally based versus just Disney-based. I mean, it's Disney, so there's that.
How do I make this thing go up?
So that would be one thing. I say Universal is really nice. That's a fun one. One person wrote, hey, Vienna for one day? I'd recommend more than one day in Vienna, but if you only have one day, do it. Go to Stephansdom, St. Stephen's Cathedral, go down and do into the catacombs for that. That's kind of a cool tour to take when you're there. Go to the Schönbrunn Palace. That's the big palace outside of town. And they have like 3 different tours. You don't need to do the long tour, okay? Do the short one or the medium one. It's not worth the money or the time to take the long tour of all the palaces. And if you don't want to go in, you can just see the gardens there. That's really cool. If you're going to want a museum there, go into the Schönbrunn Palace. Or no, not Schönbrunn Palace. The Schloss Belvedere, where they have a huge Klimt collection. That's where you'll see the Klimt's the Kiss. The Kus. That's really kind of a cool thing to see there. We have a first-time flyer heading out from O'Hare to, I think, San Diego. And any advice? So first-time flyers, probably going to be a bit nervous. Don't be. The pilots are not going to get on that plane and let it fly if they don't feel comfortable. And believe me, the pilots, they want to get home too, and so do the flight attendants, so everyone's there to help you, so it's okay. I would definitely say, make sure you get there in plenty of time. I know TSA is running a bit slow now with shutdown and things like that in some places, so give yourself extra time to get to the airport so you can get through security and stuff like that. Don't wear anything that's really like really tough to get on or off in case you have to take off a belt or shoes or something like that through security, but you'll be fine when you get there. Pack light, it's always a good thing. Remember, wherever you're going, you can buy it. It's okay. So there's some stuff for you there. Another person wrote about menus in Russia. Is it true there's one different one for tourists and there's a different one for the locals? Well, the locals get the one in Russian and the foreigners get the ones in English or German. So there is some difference there. And I've seen this in lots of countries where the English menu maybe have less things on there, like the specials and stuff like that. So that's why whenever I can speak the language or at least get a little bit of the language, I'll ask for the local menu and an English menu and stuff, so the people we're with can read that. But just because there's sometimes I know what the food is, and I don't know what it is in the translation, so like it'll be a weird translation. I'm like, I don't know what that is, so that could be something to look into. So,
okay, somebody, I think actually a couple somebody's asked about Tokyo and the Olympics in 2020. So we do have some videos on Tokyo, and you guys should check it out. Here's what I know. Tokyo is not cheap. So they were asked, one person specifically asked about hotels. It's not going to be cheap. We loved staying in a riad. We got a room to ourselves, but we shared a bathroom, but everything in Japan is so clean. Like, I mean, you could eat off the bathroom floor clean.
You can have the street clean. I mean,
it is incredible. So don't be afraid about staying in a hostel or anything like that based on those kinds of things, because it's just really I feel it's probably the place in the world I felt most safe, and it was lovely. People are very, very considerate, and you need to be also. We have some information on that, so check that out so that you are not offensive, because that would be important. It's important anywhere, but favorite eateries in Lisbon. So our favorite eateries in Lisbon, there's a place called Passarinhos, and is there a beginning to that? We just call it Passarinhos. Anyway, it's at the top of the hill on Ratu, Rua do Sol ao Ratu. Anyway, that's a really good one. And just down the street from that is a place called what is it? The Madeira place. Do we know the name?
It's Azores now, isn't it?
Or it's Azorin.
It's right around the corner. It's on I think it's Rua de Amoreiras.
Oh.
Well, and Rua do Sol changes names up there on top.
Okay. So anyway, those are two of our favorites that I can tell you. They're very local places. Another fun place to eat is the market. What's the new market? The
Mercado
old market.
de Campo Rico.
The Campo Rico.
And let me say something about that one.
Go
So Lisbon has got a bunch of their old markets are actually they've redone them to make them kind of like eateries and stuff like that, and like a new community kind of center kind of thing to do stuff. It's really cool, and it's all over the city. I think there's 7 they've done. Most tourists only go to the one in Costa Rica, which is the big, huge one where you can take cooking classes and stuff like that, and they think that's the only one. Look, if you want to hang out with foreigners and tourists, that's the one to go to. But if you go explore like one in Campo Rico and other places, you'll see like the real Portuguese people there, and that's really kind of a cool thing to do. I mean,
Miss 1984, we are going to Jamaica in a couple 3 months. My girlfriend, who is Jamaican, just sent me a big itinerary. She runs a travel company down there. So don't worry, we're going.
Tracy Sylvester. I'm sorry, I must read this.
That was my.
Well, she has a very similar love story as ours. Tracy Sylvester says, hubby and I met on a blind date. Hated, and she put it in all caps. Hated each other. Moved in together.
I don't know why you did that, but I'm glad you did.
1 month later, but it was 1 month later, So
Okay.
He improved himself. On February 15th, it will be 34 years together. Awesome. Congratulations. I'm glad we can remind you.
Thank you.
I hope Jocelyn sticks with me that long.
I hope we live that long.
Yeah. Sam FW, thoughts on world cruises? If you like cruises, it's worth it. If you don't like cruises, or you're claustrophobic, or you have seasickness,
probably don't do that.
Yeah. And Sam, you were asking about anti-Semitism in Germany. I don't see any more of it there than I see anywhere else in Europe.
No.
There's that.
MG, do we think that Caleb and Liam will want to keep traveling with us as they get older? Why not? We're like the coolest parents on earth.
Except to them. Well, Liam still likes us, but he's 7.
No, come on. They do enjoy traveling with us. And
Yeah.
here's the deal. If they want to get a free ride, then they're going to go with us. Otherwise, they're paying for it. Okay, so the Atlas Mountains and Sahara Camel Safari, we didn't do one. I kind of wish that we had allowed for that in our schedule. And, it would have been pretty cool to get all that in there. But, man, we crammed a lot into that trip. So I would say definitely look into it because we had some friends who did it, and they really loved it. So check it out. Somebody asked about Ream. And I haven't been to Ream, but you have, haven't you? No, you haven't been to Ream? Well, sorry, we can't tell you about that. The South Pacific, Cook Islands, Tonga. I don't know why the Cook Islands have always stood out to me, but I'd really like to go and see that someday. So yeah, someday. It's really far away and it's hard to get to, and we are trying to find ways of getting to the faraway places and squeezing our time budget, and also our regular budget, just to get to some of those places. So cross your fingers, we'll get there in the next few years.
So Dudley Do-Right, 1961. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. And the question was, number 1 scenic place to visit in Italy. Honestly, the Amalfi Coast is probably the most beautiful scenic place in Italy. It's gorgeous. Just be careful of the bus. I call it the vomit bus. She calls it, I think, the barf bus. Because it's
an alliteration.
Yes, because you're awesome and I'm not.
Barf bus. Vomit bus? Maybe if you called it a vomit bus.
Indeed.
Or a vomit bus.
There you go. Hey, Kermis, I'm really glad you like our videos. I'm really glad you're a fan. Thank you so much. We want to say hi to Raul in Uruguay. I'm glad we can put out some videos to help your country and to show the awesomeness of Uruguay when it's a really great people. I still have like 2 or 3 more videos from Uruguay to put out, so we'll have some more ones coming out there to help get some more Uruguay things out there.
Study abroad in Germany. Come on, you did that.
Study abroad in Germany. Be ready for math. Lots of math. And maybe not explanations of how that works in the real world. So that would be I say. One thing I will say about if you do go to Germany, learn some German, even though the Germans speak English really well. They appreciate when people do speak some German, and that will actually get them to want you to do stuff with them. And don't say no. If they ask you to do something, if you say no once, it's kind of like you're done. Okay,
they're never gonna ask. They're never gonna ask again. Will not ask
yeah.
Again.
So take when you get a chance, go do it. Okay. So then you get to at least you get a chance to meet some people. Okay.
Government shutdown affecting airports. I haven't heard of anything bad though.
Houston,
they're slower.
Well, Houston has canceled parts.
And,
yeah, well, yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's been all kinds of things like that. It hasn't been too bad yet because the TSA.
TSA
not getting
is still
paid.
open.
Yeah, but some are like calling in sick or not coming in and stuff like that. So far, nothing too bad. Okay. Did you ever Pet Lover? Sorry, it's getting late. Did you ever teach English abroad, specifically in South Korea? So if so, share your experiences. No, I did not teach in South Korea. I have done some back in the day when I was first when I lived in Lithuania and Brazil. I did a little bit of English teaching, but it really wasn't worth it for me. I know a lot of people go to South Korea and they get their apartment and their money, and it's a good way to kind of go into it. Look up Samuel and Audrey on YouTube. They actually did a bunch of stuff like that. They have a lot of things about that. They have some nice they have nice videos too about travel, but I think they did South Korea learning or teaching English stuff, and that's kind of where they came from. So definitely check them out.
Porgs for Life. Yes, I don't know. I've been to Wrigley several times. Have you?
Yeah,
oh yeah, we went. Yeah, silly me. Anyway, what are some good eats, dude? I don't know. Don't you just drink a beer and shout a lot? I don't know. Do I ever eat at a baseball game? But there's some good stuff around. Yeah, there's some good stuff. Old style. There's some good restaurants around that area, but man, it's been a minute since I've been there, so I don't want to say it and them not be there anymore.
So currently, Tom and Emily, right? Hey, what's your favorite local food from around the world? I like bigli con arna. It's these big fat noodles. It's from Veneto region of Italy. Big fat pasta noodles with a duck ragu sauce. I love that.
I like all food. Do I still want a Japanese toilet? Heck yeah! Doesn't anybody that's had one? Once one.
Thanks for bringing that one up.
It's okay. My birthday's in June.
Can I like delete those people? Ellie Katz, Costa Rica tips, please. We got tons of them. People, Pura Vida. It's not as cheap as you think it's going to be. Costa Rica is getting so expensive that the tourists or the retirees that went down there from the U.S. are moving back to the U.S. because it's gotten so expensive, which sucks for the locals because it's really priced them out of a lot of stuff. But it is a really cool place. We have plenty of videos on it, so you just put up Costa Rica, Wolters World, all kinds of things to help you out there.
Vlad the Vampire. I love PEI. Wonderful place you live. So most cost-effective country in Europe.
Portugal.
I would say Spain, Italy, Greece.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's kind of expensive to get to some of those.
That's why I said Portugal, Spain, probably your best.
Yeah, for cheap flights. But you know what you can also do is you can find a cheap flight to somewhere and then get a Ryanair or an EasyJet flight to somewhere else. But that takes some careful planning, and you really need to look at all of that, beforehand. So that's another one.
So, Wandered Marine Veteran, Niagara Falls on the USA or Canada side. If you want to take the boat in, like that boat that goes into the falls, then it's the USA side. But I think the view is better from the Canada side. Brandon Dronsfield, worst cities for pickpocketing. Barcelona, number one by
Florence is bad.
Yeah, but nothing.
Yeah, but Barcelona's the worst. Yeah,
that's like you can't compare. So, S.T. Williams, hello again. Mark, I know you're a professor. My boyfriend and I are graduating in a year and we'll be teachers. Do you have any info on teaching abroad? If you do want to teach abroad, look into American schools abroad. Like, there'll be like the American School of Berlin or the International School of Hanover or something like that. They're always looking for people. The pay, maybe not this super great, but I mean, as we know, teachers are kind of underpaid everywhere in the world. But that's one thing you could look at. And sometimes if you're both going to go together, that might be, hey, we get two professors for like one kind of thing. You might look into that because you guys could do something like that. I've had friends that have taught abroad and they've gone and one, she was in Lisbon, she was in Singapore, she was in Hong Kong, she was all over. Sorry about that. And so there's a lot of opportunities for you.
So Christopher asked about how much our trips cost. Our trips are not a fair comparison to most people in Europe because so much of the time we spend with family and friends, and so ours are significantly less than most people's because we don't have to pay for a big chunk of our housing and stuff. So.
Yeah, and that's one of my things. So I lived in 10 countries and worked in a lot more. 7 countries. Yeah, so I mean it's been crazy. Yeah. And so I have friends from all over, and now we like when we travel. I want to go see my friends. I want to go see them. We go stay with them.
And he lived abroad as like study abroad. So now we go see his host family, the parents, and like they're so excited to have an extra set of grandkids and whatever. So that a lot of that gets taken out. Daniel Keaton asks, "What is a must-eat in Greece?" For me, it's octopothi. You eat the octopus. It is freaking awesome. I don't care what you think about how gross octopus may be. It is amazing. So good. And if it's not good when you get it, if you don't love it, try it again because that place just wasn't awesome. But the seafood throughout Greece is really, really good. And then frappe, it's a coffee. It's an instant sort of funky coffee, and it's really awesome. They say frappe today, sleep tomorrow, because man, it'll jack you up on some caffeine. So have it early in the day. And also just plain Greek coffee is really, really yummy.
So, Mark and Jocelyn, would y'all ever go to El Paso, Texas? Of course we would. I drove through there many, many years ago with my dad, so I can always go back. Bye, Wandering Marine Veteran. Thanks for all the comments and everything.
Service.
Thank you.
Raul asked about if we would ever go to the heart of Africa. What is the heart of Africa?
Because we're going to East Africa. We're Rwanda and Tanzania this summer.
We've been to North Africa just a touch. But
Morocco and Tunisia for me.
Yeah.
We'll get to Egypt.
But there's a lot more of Africa.
There's a lot of heart in Africa. It's an awesome continent. There's so many. It's just huge. We were starting to explore it more. So we have that. Hi from Marek in Poland. Good to see you. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, there's just too much. My brain is.
Okay, we'll scroll up so it doesn't. So it's just.
Hold still for a second. Thanks.
There you go.
Much love. Okay. All right.
So I think I have a few. Small ones here.
Okay, So, planning strategies for those of us who have a hard time leaving our home state, let alone traveling abroad. Appreciate all your family does for our viewers. So, there is some scariness, especially if you haven't done it before, but do it in small increments. Especially if you're like on the edge of a state, just go somewhere nearby and, kind of just once you find that you've done it once and you gain a little more confidence, it'll get easier. So go somewhere not terribly far away or somewhere in your same region of the country that makes it a little bit easier, so it's not so different. And then venture a little further on. So, like, let's say you're from Georgia, go up to Charleston, not so far away, kind of similar stuff. And then after you feel comfortable with that, go up to North Carolina. It's a little different, but it's still kind of southern, and you can kind of branch out that way. It's same thing. Like if you're in Arizona, then go to New Mexico, and then go to Colorado, whatever. Maybe that would be a good way to start.
So one person wrote and asked about Belize. We've been there. They're going in May. We'll be going there relatively soon, so we should have videos up for you to help you out. So if not, write us before you go on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Or
we'll
get
some up before
We'll
then
get some
anyway.
up before then,
Yeah.
so you should be okay. Tenny Key, thank you for subbing. What?
Oh, sorry. We've been to Wisconsin.
But we haven't filmed in Wisconsin.
Nope.
We'll
but I love
go.
Egg Harbor.
I love the cheese. You guys do such good cheese in Wisconsin. Okay, so I'll get some few ones here because it's almost 9 o'clock. We got to put the kids to bed. Universal Reaper. Hey, I haven't seen you for a while. Alles geht? Wie geht's es? Geht's dir gut? Hoffentlich ja. I hope you're doing well. So Dominic has written, and some other people asked about Taiwan. We will get there eventually. We haven't been back to China for a while. I have had some offers to go teach there for like some summer courses and one-off courses. So hopefully we'll get something. Maybe we can tie something like that together. But it won't be. I don't think it'll be this year. Next year it might be farther down the road. But yes, Taiwan is definitely in the cards. I've had a lot of really cool students, wonderful students from Taiwan. I'd love to go see them because they've moved back and stuff and see their families. So looking forward to that.
Time for a kiss. Thank you, dears. This kind of cracks me up. Favorite, least favorite word.
Why do people get all weird with moist? I heard that's a word that people go like, yeah. I'm like, it's just
my favorite word is a 4-letter word, and it starts with S and ends with T.
My favorite word is Jocelyn.
Oh, he's so full of caca.
Oh, you thought you were about you? I just like the word.
Favorite, least favorite noise. Oh, right now it's my dog barking. That dog has been barking his fool head off at anything that moves for the last week.
Yeah, and usually he's a really good dog. He only barks like someone comes or something weird's going on.
Got something crazy.
Yeah, he got something up his nose. What other profession would you like to do one day? I'm a professor and a travel blogger. I mean, these are two things.
He's got his two favorite professions.
And I'm married to the most awesome woman in the world. And I got, two good kids-ish. They're mostly good kids. So I can't really, there's nothing better than what I have. I have been blessed. We've got such awesome fans. Like, you all make doing these videos and doing these live feeds so wonderful that, I mean, I could never ask for anything more. And then my day job, when I'm teaching, I have these amazing students. I mean, it's just, I've been so blessed. I just thank God and thank all of you. It's awesome. So,
I'd like to have my old career back.
Yeah, that would be one thing. If I could have something, I would have Jocelyn be able to get a job in historic preservation here. So yeah. But
then I wouldn't be able to travel like I do if I had a normal job. So.
Well, I'd take the kids and we'd send you postcards.
No.
Hey, I agree with you. Thank you very much for the super chat. And you're excited for the Belize videos. So am I. We're going to be doing some of the Mayan rooms. We're actually going to go over to Guatemala. We're going to Guatemala to go see some Mayan rooms there. And we're going to be at the Keys or the Keys, however you want to say it. So we're looking forward to that. I got all that book to put together. So we're getting ready for that so I can tan this lovely body.
Hey, Don Travis, we have been to Freiburg when there was no scaffolding on the Munster. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love that town. The people thought I was absolutely crazy. They're like, why are you here? I don't understand.
It's such a cool city. It's the sunniest city in Germany, too.
Well, that's something I didn't know, but it's such a cool place. And I would totally recommend people to go there. And I'm glad you're going back. It's pretty awesome.
Universal Reaper 22, I'm happy for you, and I wish I was there. Prost.
Anyway, I'm tired.
All right, we got to get the kids to bed.
It's 9 o'clock. Our children really need to go to bed, and then we'll do it on their own. I promise.
No, they will. They will stay up as long as they can. Let's get the last few ones out here. Dusseldorf. I've been to Dusseldorf. They get good dark beer there. But if you're going to be there, I would do Cologne and Bonn instead.
Krishna, do a video on how to travel with kids in a baby seat and a stroller. First, go to, is it GoGoBabies?
GoGoBabies.com.
And they have this thing that you attach.
Babies with a Z.
Yeah. You attach, I forget the name of it, but it's like a telescoping handle, and it's got like a back piece, and it's got two wheels that goes under, just a little lip goes underneath the car seat. So that makes, you can just drag them around like a piece of luggage behind you. It's really amazing. It's the best $50 we have ever spent, and I do it 10 times over. It was so great. So get that. That makes it easier. And here's another crazy tip. Wherever you are going to, it sounds nuts, but if you just can go get one of those really cheap umbrella strollers for like 10 euros, 15, $20, whatever, that's kind of something I would recommend doing. And then you can just donate it when you're leaving. You can leave it at a church or, whatever. And you've done something good for someone else. You haven't spent a ton of money, and you also don't have the hassle because you can just wheel around the stroller or the car seat with you through airports and things like that.
All right, just to finish off a few things. The train who is drinking a German beer with a Cuban cigar in the middle of Paris in a Dominican bar.
That sounds
I love you so much. I hate you right now because I wish I was there with you. That is so cool. That's what I love about travel. We love hearing about your stuff. That's so cool.
That you're a cool dude.
But we're gonna say goodnight to everybody. The person with stuff from Boston, we have videos on that. Good night from Michigan. Love you. Thank you for coming in there. If I go to the moon, yes, I would. Jocelyn wouldn't let me go to Mars though. We do have a video on 511 Hates to Travel to Mars, by the way.
You're so weird.
Well, and we will have, with John Michael Gautier, we will have a Don'ts of Space Travel coming out in a few weeks' time. We're doing a collaboration together, so we can have some really fun video stuff. He's an awesome dude. If you like science and space, he's great. Tyler J., mark your reviews on Rate My Professor. Amazingly good. Thank you. My students are crazy, but they're awesome, so I really appreciate it. They make it easier to be a good professor, so that's awesome. JK1776, I missed the chat. How frequent are the chats? I'm trying to do better this year, so we're trying to do it like every other week. So just follow the link that this is on, and it usually will pop up and say something, or subscribe and click that notification bell so you actually get our videos, and it'll let you know. So all those things.
Ronnie Navarro, my two picks would be Greece and Nicaragua. But I also went somewhere really easy to fly from, so I don't know. What would be your place for a second home?
It's fine.
Yeah,
wherever you are.
That's it. You're such a good husband.
I am.
All right.
I'm the best husband I can be.
We're gonna do an April Fool's video on some fake country. That's awesome, Fin. I love it.
That's great. Well, everybody.
All right, hugs,
Haley,
kisses,
good night.
good night.
Dina, good night. Dominic, good
Travel
night.
well.
Hey, Ray, Hannah, everybody, Emperor King. Oh, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Tosh!
Hey! Good night, y'all.
Tosh. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for everything. We'll talk to you later. Bye
Bye,
from
kids.
our library. Bye.